Law number 4, always say less than necessary. Silence is a very powerful weapon in times of war. It leaves the enemy vulnerable because they cannot determine what your next move is. The 48 laws of power. Deontay Wilder's silence is absolutely killing old media and the ops, and we're going to talk about that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy, Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Oh my God. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and the greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. You guessed it, we working. Now, I want to make a follow-up video. I made a video the other day, and I started with this same quote, 48 Laws of Power, excellent book, highly recommended. I read it myself. Robert Greene, check it out. 48 Laws of Power. And it says silence is a very powerful weapon in times of war. It leaves the enemy vulnerable because they cannot determine what your next move is. And this law, they give you the transgressions and reversals of the laws and break it down even further, even use historic examples. Now, the reason why I'm starting with that quote is because this applies and is very applicable to the situation with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, ex-WBC champion of the world from Tuscaloosa, Alabama to this day, right? This applies to him. Now we're hearing, you know, people give their commentary and spreading rumors and basically surmising or suggesting that something's wrong with Deontay Wilder ever since the Tyson Fury loss. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to the haters, but I have some sources that are connected to the person in question. And, you know, it couldn't be anything further from the truth from what I was told, right? Obviously, you know, I'm just one person, you know, I'm a fish in a whole sea, you know, really a shark, but, you know, maybe people bend the truth or whatever, but I have no reason to believe otherwise. And it's shocking to me that information in boxing is spread like this. Like boxing, one of the things that stunts the growth of boxing is there's no uniformity. There's no collective like governing body that mandates certain rules. Like certain things you can do in Nevada won't be acceptable in boxing per the, you know, the rule set, like stacking the wraps, which is what Abel Sanchez complained about with Canelo's team. You can do that in Nevada, but you go to other places like California Commission or New York, you can't do that. You see what I'm saying? So there's no governing body and uniformity in this universal system that everyone plays by, you know? I know friends that have covered other sports outside of boxing, like the NBA. And since the NBA is an actual league, they don't just let any media in and things like that. And you will get your credentials pulled if you put out false information and things of this nature, right? But in boxing, we see people all the time lie, you know, make videos, lie, write articles, lie, put out tweets that are lies, you know, get super opinionated. And, you know, there's a lot of snakes and fakes in this boxing game. And when they see Deontay Wilder, they be the first ones to approach and bow down and play this role like, oh, hey, Wilder. Oh, hey, can I get you? And I blame Deontay Wilder. And I know he could knock me out, but I'm going to tell you what I blame Deontay Wilder for. In life, you can't expect people to love like you love. Because you're a real person doesn't mean you're going to be dealing with other real people. And I think Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder discovered that with Tyson Fury. And now post-loss, after losing to Fury, he's getting to see that with some of the, you know, just media members and fans and stuff. Fickle people, you know, real fickle. They say this and that, you know, when you're up and down. I mean, when you're up, they say this. When you're down, you know, it's a different story. So I think it's good for Deontay Wilder because you get to see, you know, when the grass is cut, the snakes is show. And he's getting to see that. And like I said, there's a lot of people, they have fake false energy. And I blame Deontay Wilder for just being so chill, so humble, so down to earth that he didn't have his antennas up necessarily to see this. He's like, oh, I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. Everything was peachy. But this is stuff that below the surface has always been going on. Like I said, you'll have people in media who will like ask him for interviews and get the interview, waste his time. And then there are also the people now post loss rooting for the foreign fighter. Like, I'm talking about Americans, straight treason, traitors, Benedict Arnold, right? This is an American champion that represented America, right, in the Olympics with little experience and a sick daughter, got a bronze medal. And you have American media outlets and American YouTubers and American fans rooting against this black man from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Oh my God. And it's sad, but it's the reality of what we live in. And, I want to see the brother do well. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. I think Wilder, what Chadwick represented in the Black Panther movie, I think Wilder was one of those figures that kind of represents for the culture. And like, he never did no sellout stuff. He always stayed true to his character. He always had fun with his career, stuff like that. So Deontay Wilder, just like Chadwick Boseman, and I don't like to compare it to someone who's no longer with us, but I think they both represent just the culture. That's why a lot of people are affected. Like the Chadwick Boseman news, I was driving and I almost like had to pull over. It was just hurtful. You know what I mean? Because you hate to see it. Guys like Nipsey Hussle, guys like Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bryant was in the second leg of his career, helping his daughter and his team. You just hate to see these things, especially when someone is put on this earth and so talented, and that they have so much more to give. And that wasn't it. Nipsey Hussle, like his albums were getting even more complete. Victory Lap, was a classic album. So you hate to see it. But rest in peace to the fallen soldiers. I think Deontay Wilder, he's still here with us, but he's finally he has to face a different crowd, a different circumstance. As a pro, he's made his pro knocking out everybody, lost his last fight, first pro loss. So I'm anxious to see how he bounces back. But there's a lot of people, they're praying and rooting and hoping for his downfall and speculating and making up stuff. And again, this is just sad. You have to ask yourself a few questions. And as fans, you have to do this. And listen, my channel, New Media, I'm here for a purpose. Like 50 said, man, it's clear that I'm here for a real reason, because he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't breathing. Something special. Man, I'm here for a real reason. You not rocking with your man 50 Cent, man, right? Well, I'm here for a real reason. New Media, whether you like it or not, I'm here, and I'm here to stay. And I'm here to spread that good gospel. Me on my channel, I move how I move. I do things a bit different, unorthodox, but I like it that way, and I'm going to keep it that way. So thank you guys for the support. I'm not, me personally, I'm not going to, I could reach out to pretty much any fighter. I don't know what the response is going to be, but I feel like my brand carries enough weight. I could reach out to anybody, but I let people be, you know what I mean? And I'm not in the business of, I give my opinion. Don't get that twisted, especially if it's like a fight breakdown. You'll hear me break down Charlo versus Derevyanchenko and tell you why I think Charlo beats Derevyanchenko. You'll hear that on my channel, but you rarely, or if ever, see me make speculative videos with some just random junk that I just made up. You know what I'm saying? No patterns, no reason why I feel like this. And that's what we're seeing in today's media. People are giving Wilder this type of clinical medical diagnosis, and they haven't even done like therapy sessions. Just imagine if you went to the car dealership or an auto mechanic and you brought your whip in. You're in the parking lot looking at your car. They haven't pulled your car into the garage yet. You haven't turned over your keys. They have not done a diagnostic. And they said, you know what? We got to replace all your spark plugs. You know, your engine's going out. You need some antifreeze, this, that, and that. And you're like, whoa, how do you know this? This is my first time coming to Jiffy Lube or your shop or whatever. How do you know this? Oh man, I just believe that's what you need. You'd be like, what? I mean, you wouldn't even trust that automotive repair. You wouldn't even trust them with your vehicle. If they're willing to give you a diagnostic without even looking at your car and tell you what the outcome is. Now, I get it. Some mechanics can hear certain things with your engine and be like, oh man, it might be your carburetor, it might be your alternator. But I'm just saying in general, you really don't know, because there's certain things that it could be that, but you have to peek under the hood. So it's crazy to me that you have guys telling you what's up with Wilder, and that, he's torn up about this loss because he's now has to be humble, and he's mad that he lost his undefeated record and this and that, and possibly depressed, and he's hiding. This is what they're suggesting. But they're also in the same breath telling you we reached out to him and he hasn't replied with a comment or set up any interviews. So it's like, you don't know. You know how the saying goes, you don't know, like the old adage goes, you don't know until you try. How can you give this man an assessment of where he's at mentally when truthfully we don't know? I'm on his social media right now and he's posting pictures. He just said, don't count me out just yet. A true champion faces adversity and comes back stronger. So what are we basing this off? This is like almost like Gossip Girl stuff, where you ever date a girl and she's snooping around on your page and trying to look for clues and see if you left hearts on someone's page, or you posted a quote. She's trying to see if you're available, or if you're, if you're flirting with somebody. I mean, there's only so much you can judge from someone's social media. And to me, that's weird. That's weird for like grown men to be looking at someone's social media and trying to determine everything that's up with them and determine what type of mental state they're in. You know what I mean? That's like Errol Spence. I just seen this picture. We'll use him. This man was in a bad car accident. I can't tell you how he's going to return to the sport. I'm hearing good things. Derek James said some good things. They talked about it on the Fox telecast on the Edison Lara fight. But ultimately, I don't know. It looks like Errol's training hard. And I have a limited scope to judge from. But I'm not telling you what Errol Spence's mental, I'm not saying anything negative about Errol Spence. Like, oh man, he's really shook up about the accident. He might be depressed. I don't know those things. I haven't kicked it with him. I haven't hung with him. You know what I'm saying? So I would never get on here and tell you some, negative diagnostic when I haven't even talked to the person, or they refused, or it didn't respond to my requests and stuff like that. But whatever. To me, that's just weird energy. And if people are willing to do that in the boxing game, this needs to be looked at. This needs to be looked at for future interviews and access and stuff like that. I mean, what part of the game is that? People telling you how Deontay Wilder is. And just from what I've seen from dude, Wilder's just a cool dude. He's always been that way. He's always laid back. You see him smiling. He don't take life too serious. And a couple weeks ago, he was with his family at a barbecue, 4th of July, I think it was. He was twerking and dancing and having fun and dancing to TLC. And old media made that into a big deal. Like, people are trying to make video. Oh, you'll never believe this. Wilder's twerking. And I'm like, wow, this man is so important that him goofing off, dancing in front of his wifey and family, the video comes out on somebody's story, and then people screen record it and all this stuff and put it out there, like in an attempt to, assassinate his character or make him look whatever. Oh, this man is twerking. Like you ain't never did nothing to make people laugh. That's just weird behavior, really beta male behavior, but it's ironic and it's funny because 1 minute, a couple weeks ago, a month ago or whatever, he's dancing and twerking and jovial, and people are like, what is this? Why is he twerking? He's having too much fun. This is weird. This looks suspect. But then now, all of a sudden, he ain't saying nothing. Keep in mind, he ain't really said nothing this whole time. He ain't really overly posting like Dillian White, who just got knocked out, right? He ain't really said too much of anything. He ain't really did no interviews that I seen, because I think it would have been, national news, or like at least in the boxing world. And he ain't said nothing. 1 minute he was twerking and having too much fun with family, and that was a big issue and a problem. But now, since he hasn't said much since, now the story is he's depressed and, going through it and needs counseling and all this weird stuff. Man, I think a lot of people are going to be in for a rude awakening. I think Wilder will be all right. He took a loss. It's just weird. It's funny to me that it just shows you the impact that this man has had. Like the last few years, he's really kept his career moving forward at all costs. Because when I said Wilder was the face of boxing and Canelo's star power is dwindling, a lot of you guys got mad at me. You were mad. Oh no, this is ridiculous. What do you mean? And then when Wilder lost, y'all got mad and said, oh, I thought you said he was the face of boxing. Well, apparently he still is, because not many people are really talking about Canelo at the moment. It doesn't look promising at all. It's like Avenel, Yildirim, and beef with Golden Boy, now beef with one point beef with the WBC. Now he had beef with DAZN. It's like people ain't doing that. But meanwhile, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, he ain't saying 2 words, and they can't stop talking about him. Media cannot stop talking about him. Tyson Fury's threatening to move on with Joshua. He's calling out WWE for. I love this. I love it. And it takes me back to my original 48 Laws of Power quote. Always say less than necessary. Silence is a very powerful weapon in times of war. It leaves the enemy vulnerable because they cannot determine what your next move is. And I love this from Deontay Wilder, because he got the whole world buzzing and he ain't said nothing. He ain't said 2 words. He ain't barely said. He posted 2 pictures, in the last couple of weeks. He ain't said nothing. Tyson Fury and Frank Warren, they bugging out. Top Rank probably bugging out. Aram, nobody knows. And I love this from Wilder. Stay tucked until you have something to talk about. And I'm okay with that. But a lot of people don't seem to be. They want news. They want answers. They want to know what's up. They want to know how he's been. They want to know where his weight's at. They have a lot of questions for this man. So he must be important. He must be the face of boxing. And he must still be popping. Like I said, Tyson Fury, he's threatening to move on and clout chasing, saying, bro, it's looking ugly. Deontay Wilder is a star, because look, Tyson Fury in the last 2 days, he just said there's an interview where Tyson Fury says he's going to move on and fight Joshua in December of this year. Even though Wilder has a rematch clause, he said he's going to fight Joshua in December and move on if Wilder don't want it. And he called out a WWE fighter, which is 2 separate things. Either you want to fight a WWE guy and punch him in the face, or you want to punch Joshua in the face. Those are 2 different things. But before that, a couple days before that, he did another interview, and Tyson Fury said what? He said Eddie Hearn and Joshua don't want none. So it's like Tyson Fury is really all over the place. And I think Tyson Fury is getting restless. He's getting paranoid. He don't know what Wilder's thinking. And this silence is killing people. This silence is killing people. Trust me. Trust me on this one. Trust me. Like I said, one day he said Eddie Hearn and AJ don't want no parts of him. Then the next day he's saying he'll fight AJ in December if Wilder don't want it. Now he's calling out WWE, all in a small space of time. So Wilder's silence is putting in work, and it's almost as powerful as his right hand. Oh my God. Smash the like button. Use my affiliate links. ESPN Plus. Sign up below. ESPN Plus, the home of a lot of original content. They got exclusives, docu-series like Bruce Lee's Be Water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup, right? Use my link, ESPN Plus. It does help the channel grow. I'm in the process of trying to build a studio. So yeah, you guys keep sending your donations and channel members and Patreon. Use that affiliate link. We to the top. Let me know what you guys think. Deontay Wilder's silence is destroying people in the game, and they don't know what to make of this. And I love it. I told you, me, unless I hear something and, you know, and or get a good read or source, then I don't have to. I'm going to let this man chill out, do whatever he's doing. And when he says something and when it's official, then I'll make videos about that. But this little stuff and me insinuating and speculating on what he's doing, I'm not doing all that. You say that for them other guys, old media and all that, they can do that and just pick around and guess around what they think he's going through. And you're going to sound crazy saying that he's depressed and this, and then you hear him on a podcast or when he comes start doing interviews and stuff, and he sounds like the regular Wilder we've always all grown to know. You know what I mean? But you just said he's depressed, but you're not going to see no difference with him, you know? And then beyond that, the Glovegate situation, why would he be depressed if many people believe that Fury did underhanded tactics in order to beat him? What do you need to be depressed for? Look, why did Fury go from Everlast gloves in the first fight? Look, he stretched out. Ran from the immediate rematch. Then he joined Top Rank, got with them, took 2 tune-ups. It looked like he was trying to find his cheat code, trying to buy some time. And then he switched from Everlast gloves. He wore Everlast versus Otto Violin, got messed up in that fight too. You know, his face all bloody mess. And then now all of a sudden he fighting Wilder. His gloves look concaved in, and he got different brand Paffin gloves. Why? Why don't you just use Everlast? You keep getting dropped into Everlast. Why don't you wear them again? And years before, when he fought Klitschko had it in the contract that he had to wear Paffins, and he almost threatened to pull out of the fight because of the Paffins. Tyson Fury says, well, I don't want to wear those. These are uncomfortable for me. But now all of a sudden, Tyson Fury glove looked horrible, like an oven mitt in the Wilder rematch. And he liked Paffin all of a sudden. So I don't think Wilder, you know, you guys could say whatever you want. He's depressed. I don't see any reason why you would be depressed. How would I, like, I'm just thinking about me. If I knew somebody beat me, but they had to cheat to beat me, that's easy to get over. Because I know it ain't real, it's cap. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Use my affiliate links as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, hi, I'm Mike Tyson, come and watch my fight. Floyd Mayweather, easy work, I'm rich. And Manny Pacquiao, yes, it's up to my promoter, just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All 3 apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.